Hi students and family members, Mr. Panza helping you out with tonight's bar model homework. I know it says quiz at the top. It's really homework. We talked about a KWS chart again. K is what we know from the word problem. So in problem number 1, it says Lauren has some necklaces. We know that there's an individual in this word problem that has a certain amount of necklaces. We just don't know how much. She has a sister, and her sister has half as many. So the sister will have a bar just half as big, which means Lauren actually has 2 times as many as her sister, which is why I separated her into 2 bars. Altogether, which is why I'm drawing this little mustache bracket at the bottom, they have 117 necklaces. That's what we know from what I read. W is the question that I'm trying to answer. How many necklaces does Lauren have? In order to solve my S, I need to determine a couple of number sentences. First of all, I know the total here. This is my dividend. This is going to be a division problem. 117 divided by the total number of bars that you have, which is 3. So 3 goes into not 1, but 11, 3 times. Because 3 times 3 is 9, then you subtract, you're left with 2, bring down your 7, 3 into 27. Which is 9. The problem here is that 39 is not my answer. 39 is what I divided the total of 117 by, which means the 3 bars that we separated each get 39. So I go back to the question, which says, how many necklaces does Lauren have? There's 2 ways to solve. Either 39 plus 39 or 39 times 2, which is 78. So to answer this question, you want to say Lauren has 78 necklaces. Number 2 is really just, do you understand when they ask you to make groups of a number that they're asking you to divide? So my dividend is 24. My divisor is 4. When I skip count by 4 to get to 24, I get 6. And that's how many groups I can make. Number 3 says, there's 436 birthday cakes for sale at a local market. The workers at the market pack them in boxes of 2. What do I know? That there's 436 birthday cakes, and they're packing them in boxes of 2. 2 goes into 4 twice. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract. Bring down the 3. 2 goes into 3 one time. 2 times 1 is 2. Subtract. Bring down the 6, which is 8, because 8 times 2 is 16. That gives me 218. How many boxes they need then? It's 218 boxes. Number 4, I apologize, starts on the front and then goes on the back. So here's how I'd set it up. First, in reading the problem, you can see that we have 2 teachers, Mr. Panza and Mrs. Riley. Mr. Panza needs 32 stamps for his students. Mrs. Riley needs 28 stamps. So when I flip it over to set up my bar model, my K would be Panza and Riley. And I can determine, based on the fact that we're breaking them into packages of 4, how many packages of stickers that we'll need to buy together. Because the numbers are so large, I wouldn't recommend drawing 32 bars and 28. Instead, recognize that Mr. Panza needs 32, and they come in packages of 4. Mrs. Riley, breaking those packages of 4 by 28. And then, in your number sentence, once again, set up a division bracket. Panza is 32 is the dividend divided by 4. Riley is 28. divided by 4. Four goes into 32 8 times. So Mr. Pans is going to need to buy 8. Mrs. Riley will need to buy 7. But it asks, how many altogether? They would need 15. 15 altogether. Finally, this is a question that we saw very similar to one you'll see on the test. Steve and Nikki. Steve has 3 times as many medals as Nikki. Nikki still gets a bar because she gets some medals. Altogether, they have 120 medals. You're dividing that into the 4. So, my number sentence is 120 divided by 4. Going into the 12 is 3. Subtract. Bring down. 4 can't go into 0. You still need to put a 0 there, which means each of these bars get filled with 30. Then go to your question. How many more does Steve have than Nikki? There's 2 ways to solve this. You either figure out how many Steve has, which is 30 times 3, which equals 90, and then subtract 30, because that's what Nikki has, and that's the difference. Or cross out this here and just see, oh, this is how many more Steve has than Nikki, which is also 60. Steve has 60 more trophies. Hope this video helps.